It's day 3 of the ROLEX Big Boat Series in San Francisco. I'm Annie Gardner. Today, it's moving day. If a yacht wants to move up in the standings, today's their day.
What it's going to take is sailing as hard or harder than we did yesterday, really, because of light conditions, and not making mistakes.
We made sure that when we fell behind, we just kept on being conservative and just knocking one boat off after another and got back into, the top group.
I think for us it's going to be a matter of getting into the light breeze. Boats like ours, which are really a lightweight boat, don't do so well in the heavy breeze. So we're hoping for 8 to 10.
For the first day, it probably counted us out. We didn't count ourselves out, and now we're tied for first. And so they're going to be gunning for us, and we're ready.
Ten seconds to the start of IRC A and B, strong ebb tide, and it's light winds down here by Treasure Island. All clear. Beacom with a good start over here to the right of Vesper. 5 seconds to HPR class, double trouble over there by the boat end. And it's whiplash here on the pin end. Looks like all clear. Well, in IRCD, we have an unusual approach. 3 boats coming in on port with 20 seconds to go. Encore first attack. All right. Some of these boats realizing that starboard tack usually does have the right of way. And Encore in free and clean air, starting to lure. They're out in front of the pack. And in the HPR class, it's double trouble over there by Alcatraz and Wicked over here. Taikwai getting her wish, the wind has increased. Whiplash in 3rd place in IRCD. And here comes double trouble. And in IRCB, it's Bodacious on the far side and Swiftsure closest to us. It's bustin' loose. Just a beautiful day on the bay, sailing by the Presidio. And there goes the Far 40, twisted. Encore and Tupelo Honey covering Mirthmaker, going up the city front here.
So I grew up sailing here. I love sailing here. I'm a longtime member of the St. Francis Yacht Club. I'm also the Commodore of the San Francisco Yacht Club. My favorite regatta sailing on the bay is sailing in the Big Boat Series. St. Francis always does a great job of running this regatta. Gets better and better each day. We're improving, and we're fortunate enough to be in first place.
And in IRCD, it's Tupelo Honey and Encore, really tight racing between the 6 in this fleet. All tight at the top mark. Peregrine followed by Mirthmaker. And here comes what looks like a spaceship, but it's a Mod 70 Orion. It's the J70 class with 5 seconds to go, and EOS has had all bullets so far. Great start again by Commodore Casino. rounding the top mark for the first time, it's EOS, the J70 class, followed right behind with Jennifer and the perfect wife. And in Class B, going into the top mark for the last time. We've got 2 classes converging at the same time. Actually 3 classes, the J70s, the HPRs, and one of the IRC classes, Class B. And rounding the windward mark, it's Tony Pole's Twisted Far 40. In IRCD, it's Wayne Coldy's Sydney 36 Encore, stretching her lead. Rounding behind him, it's Peregrine, the J120 by David Hallwell. And taking line honors in IRCD, it is Encore. This is what everybody comes to San Francisco Bay for, this great breeze. It's a flood tide now, 5 seconds or less for the J120 class. 1 boat over early, going back. Less than 10 seconds to the Express 37 start. It's Snowy Owl here at the pin. Looks like all clear. Oops, no, 1 boat over. We'll see who it is. Snowy Owl finally listening to the radio and realizing it was them over early. And it's the J105s aggressively going for the line here. Arbitrage winning the pin. Yesterday could have won 2 races, but they missed 1 mark, had to go back with the 10th. They're still in contention. Godot hasn't won a race yet before today, but still possibly leading overall. And the largest class in the Big Boat Series this year, it's the Melgis 24 with 38 boats trying to win the start. Rosebud leading the charge towards the city front over here on the port end. And in the J120 class, it's Chance right in front of Mr. Magoo. Grace dances into another drive. Woo! The J120 fleet just going right along the city front here, almost by Pier 39. Chance splitting from the two behind him and going to the left gate, looking upwind towards the city front. And an Express 37 fleet, it's expeditious on the inside. And look who's leading the J105 fleet now. It's the Nantucket Sleigh Ride. And rounding in second and third around the bottom mark, it's Blackhawk USA 40 to windward. Vesper rounding the offset mark, ready to hoist. Vesper taking line honors in IRCA Race 6. Well, that concludes day 3 of the Rolex Big Boat Series. I'm Annie Gardner. Somebody told me that you can set your clock to the wind coming in San Francisco every day, and they are right. Now, we talked about moving day, and today boats definitely moved up, and maybe a few might have moved down. But tomorrow's another day, and anything can happen. The scores are really, really tight, so we'll see what happens.